Hi guys, and welcome back to Keep Smiling Adventures, and we today are doing another route overview video. I have just got back from doing the Cambrian Way across Wales. So in this video we are going to be going over basically everything you need to know, and at the end I'll be giving it an overall difficulty rating, 1 being super easy, 10 being like super hard, and also an overall rating of what I thought about the whole ride, 1 being don't even bother, and 10 being get out there and do it. Now I'll also be going over wild camping and also everything you need to know, what bike, etc. So let's get into the route overview video of the Cambrian Way. Let's do it. The Cambrian Way is a just over 100-mile off-road bikepacking route starting at the English-Wales border in a town called Knighton and finishing in the west of Wales at the train station Dovey Junction. This route will give you a real opportunity to feel what Wales has to offer for bike riding. From the vast rolling hills, beautiful reservoirs and fun single track and perfect gravel tracks. This ride will have you grinding up hills and also leaving you in awe of the beauty you will be surrounded by. This ride is mostly off-road with only a couple of sections of quiet country lanes along the way. Lots of sheep, lots of gates, lots of tough climbs, but lots of fun to be had on this bikepacking route. For this route, you will be wanting a GPS unit to make navigation easier. This ride isn't going to be for everyone. You are going to want to be relatively fit and have a good level of bike control, as some of the trails can be steep and a little technical, especially towards the end of the ride, where you will have a couple of descents that are on loose slate. This ride does have a few shops and cafes along the way, but mostly they are off route, so you will need to go looking for them. This means that some self-reliance is needed, and I'd recommend having some kind of water filter for this trip to make it a little easier, as there are plenty of streams to collect water to avoid searching for the shops. But if you are looking for a 2 to 3 day bikepacking trip with some tough challenges along the way and some amazing views and also some amazing camping spot opportunities, then this might well be a great route for you. If you like tough climbs and fun single track and epic views, then I think you will enjoy this route. The bike to take is ideally going to be some kind of mountain bike, hardtail or full suspension or plus bike, to have the most fun with the descending on this route. That's not to say you couldn't do this route on a gravel bike. You could. However, you will want to have as big tyres as you can get. Probably 43 to 45mm would be the smallest I'd want to have. But you will definitely lose some of the enjoyment of the descents, as especially towards the end of the route there are some pretty steep and technical descents that will have you going down loose slate descents that will be quite tough on smaller rubber. If you decide to use a gravel bike, although mostly rideable, you will find yourself with a few more hiker bike sections than you would on a mountain bike. But whichever bike you decide to use, a couple things are for sure. You are going to want to have mountain bike gear in. Get the easiest gear you can for them steep climbs, and also make sure your brakes are on point and working. You are going to need them. Camping along this route is going to be an awesome experience. This route includes a bovvy along the route if you fancy that, or if you want to pitch your tent and spend a night under the stars. There are going to be endless places for this along the route. If you wanted to stay in a hotel or B&B, then you could also do this, but you may need to come off the route for a bit, as this route, for the most part, doesn't go through many built-up areas. Now, there isn't too much to say here, as the route is linked up both ends with train stations. However, these trains are limited to how many bikes they can carry and need to be pre-booked. At the time of me riding this route and travelling to and from the start and end points, there is a lot of cancelled trains with rail bus replacements, which you cannot take your bike on, so double check with Transport for Wales before you travel. The difficulty of this ride is going to be a 7 out of 10 for me, as this ride does have a lot of hard stuff to ride, mostly because the sheer steepness of some of the climbs. But also, you need to have your wits about you on some of the descents. This ride will also mean you have to be quite self-reliant, as shops and built-up areas are few and far between. My overall rating of this route is going to be an 8 out of 10. This ride is a short but magical ride with so many views and some challenges to overcome, and not to forget, some of the descents are a lot of fun and some, well, are a little scary if I'm honest. But it makes it the adventure it is. This route does a really great job at showing you what Wales has to offer for bike riding in a relatively short distance. Beautiful views, lots of fun riding, lots of sheep to remind you where you are. The Cambrian Way is a great fun bikepacking route that has a bit of everything you need to give you a great sense of adventure. Right guys, so there we have it. There is the route overview for the Cambrian Way. That was an epic adventure. Although such a short adventure, only 100 odd miles, it was absolutely amazing. The views, the riding, it was just absolutely great. That place that I got to camp was absolutely beautiful, and I just had a lot of fun with that ride. If this video has helped you and answered some of your questions, then leave it a like. And if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next adventure. Keep smiling, enjoy the adventure. Peace.